Today we have a special episode of Tabletop Adventures. Ian Hink, the lovely Lilia, is not with us. He is with Brandon Jones at DICE. So we decided not to do Fiasco again today. That's kind of Ian's thing. It felt weird doing it without him. So we're going to do something.
This feels weird without him.
It does, but it's not a normal episode of Tabletop Adventures. We are still playing D&D, but we're calling this D&D Side Stories. So what if I don't know how many we're going to do of these or with what regularity. I suppose it depends on how much you guys like them. But what it is everybody is playing a new character, and sort of. Elise Williams will be playing Spervince. This is the side story of Spervince. What these are supposed to answer is, if a character goes away, maybe a side story will reveal what happened to them. In this case, Spervince was not with them in space, so what happened to Spervince? Kyle and Michael Huber will be playing two completely new characters. If you could say the names of each of your characters, the class, and which level you are.
I am Jeremiah Wigglefoot, a level 1 ranger, and I'm a gnome.
You're also neutral evil.
I'm neutral evil.
Kyle.
Is this the dog? Is this the dog walker?
Yeah, no, it's just I had to turn on my... It's fine. I'll just watch it.
So neutral evil is different than chaotic neutral?
Yes.
Okay. Got it.
Yeah, what does that mean? What does that mean to be neutral evil? Let's discuss that for one moment.
Okay. I could give you my...
I want yours.
You want my idea of neutral evil?
Yeah.
Not the book's version? So, lawful neutral...
Like Ozymandias.
The way to explain...
Watch me.
The way to explain neutral in any context is to explain the other two.
Mm-hmm.
So lawful evil, you're super fucking evil. Like, you could commit genocide, but you do it in a very orderly fashion. You have your own code that you follow.
For the greater good.
Chaotic evil, the best way to describe chaotic evil is the Joker, essentially.
Yeah.
Where you just do things haphazardly and all of them are bad. Neutral evil is right in between those
like
two.
Mr. Freeze would be neutral evil.
Well, you're trying to throw Batman characters out there, and we're not quite there yet.
Okay.
All right. So neutral evil is you are evil, but you're pursuing your own interests. You're not necessarily fighting for an agenda or an organization. You are evil for deeply personal reasons that you are trying to bring to light. That is absolutely true with Jeremiah, and we'll get into that in a bit.
Mr. Freeze.
And Mr. Freeze, yes, you're right. So yes, Mr. Freeze is neutral evil.
I'm Florence Wigglefoot. I am a level 1 monk, a hermit, in fact. I'm a gnome, and I am lawful good. I'm the brother.
So you're Batman.
No, Batman...
You're Harvey Dent.
Yeah. Batman, I would say, is neutral.
Doesn't kill anyone.
Well,
Yeah, but he breaks backs and breaks the law.
but he does it for Gotham, for a greater good.
Yeah. But Batman breaks the law all the time.
That's true. It's probably lawful neutral.
He follows Bat Law.
Now that we're finished identifying our characters through Batman characters,
Yes.
I'm really... That's okay. I like it. I like it.
I'll just give a brief summary of Spervince
Yes,
for anybody
please.
that
Please,
hasn't
please.
seen.
Yes, sorry.
What is
That's okay.
Spervince?
Spervince is essentially like the mutant spider baby that burst forth of Pervince Toskhobble's abdomen, correct?
Yeah, so Spervince inhaled some magical gas, and that gas impregnated Spervince with a spider version of himself, which was lovingly dubbed Spervince by the adventurers. And yeah, you are a mutant baby. You are half halfling, half spider.
The head of a Pervince and the body of a spider.
You're about the size of a basketball.
So gross.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're Jim Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon.
Spervince went
Please say
through
that.
a bit of a transformation during the last episode. He was designed to be like an alien from the movie Aliens and just sort of mindlessly kill, but he ended up kind of at the last minute switching sides.
Plot twist.
Yeah.
There was a great emotional journey that Spervince went on in the very brief time that he joined the party, and it's unclear really where his allegiances lie, whether he is good or evil or
He
who
is a
knows.
smooth talker, though.
and he loves 90s television.
Well, that makes things complicated.
I don't know if that can happen.
It's okay. Oh no, it will never explicitly happen.
Okay, sure. I hate saying I don't know if I can happen because the best moments are when they can. So the way that I've kind of structured these side stories is I have a setup, I have the history of the characters, I have how they meet, and I have things that could happen if we're in need of it, but the rest of it is just sort of a playground. You guys, I want to give you these characters and see where you go with them. So I don't have every step along the way planned out. I have moments that could happen if they need to, but otherwise it's kind of up to you guys. So it's even more improvisational than our normal D&D sessions. Now, I want to explain the history of the Wigglefoot family.
Okay.
I'm very excited to do this. So to talk about you guys, we have to understand your parents. You guys grew up in the town of Phandelver, which actually exists already in the world. If you guys are familiar, it's the mining town where Gundren is from. And the reason you guys were the only gnomes in Phandelver. What happened is your father was in the real estate business, and he was a bit of a sleazeball. It's the gnome city that you lived in. What happened is your father made some bad deals, and he screwed some people out of a lot of money, and he was run out of town. So you guys came to Phandelver, and your mother was kind of a victim in all of this. She was always very loving, very supportive. You both cared about her very deeply. And once you guys came to Phandelver, scarred by the experience, your father kind of turned around too. So you both had a very positive upbringing with your parents. But your father, sort of his tycoon days behind him, always wanted the best for you guys. He wanted you guys to succeed and get out of this town and go see the world and make a lot of money. He always had grand ambitions for you. And one day, a monk came into town. And what monks of this order do is called the Order of Light. What these monks do is they go from town to town and they look for potential candidates to come into their order. And you both, wanting to win the approval of your father, he also pushed you very heavily for this. You both decided to be tested.
What is her age at this point?
You were tested at a very young age. You're 2 years older than Jeremiah. You were 16 when you were tested, and Jeremiah was 14.
Too young.
And so what ended up happening is the test of the monks of the Order of the Light, what he does is he takes both of you for 6 months, and he puts you in the forest, and he basically has you fend for yourself. So you had to fight wild animals, goblins, kobolds. You had to find your own food, and this entire time, the monk is sort of watching you in the shadows. And at the end of 6 months, he decides if you have the fortitude and like good mental composition to join the Order of the Light. What ended up happening is Florence was accepted into the order. Jeremiah was not.
What did Jeremiah do wrong?
Jeremiah, what he did is it was harder for him to kill beasts than it was for Florence, because Florence was stronger and older. So in the middle of the night, Jeremiah knew where Florence was, and he would take some of Florence's provisions from him.
Oh, no.
So what ended up happening is you, Florence, joined the Order of the Light, and
Of course.
you are you go away for years.
Mm-hmm.
So you're now 25. Jeremiah is now 23, and you're kind of in isolation. It takes years and years and years before you can fully become a monk. You finally did, and Jeremiah, life was kind of hell for you after this. Your father basically viewed you as a failure, and he banished you from the household. He said, if you're not good enough to complete the test, you're not good enough for us.
At age 14.
At age 14.
Wow.
And so since then, you've returned to the forest, and you've kind of really gotten in touch with nature there, and that's you care more about animals now and the preservation of nature than you do for other human beings. And for years, for almost 10 years, you've had this burning hatred of your brother. You've been training so you can finally one day exact vengeance upon him.
Excellent.
Unfortunately, there was a tragedy that happened. A group of gnolls, if you're not familiar with gnolls, if you have the Monster Handbook, it's on page 163. They're kind of like humanoid hyenas, is what they look like.
Humanoid.
Humanoid, yeah. Yep, humanoid hyenas. A band of gnolls came into Phandelver, and they took out about a fourth of the town's population. And it turns out a couple of the people that they killed were your mother and father. And so eventually word was sent to Florence, who came down from the monastery and met up with you, Jeremiah, and proposed a deal. He said, let's find these gnolls. Let's bring justice to them, because the town didn't have resources to go send anybody out to search for the gnolls.
Oh, so the
you guys
gnolls just came in and left. Nobody killed them.
Nobody killed them.
Well,
they tried
okay.
to,
Uh-huh.
but the gnolls escaped successfully.
Wow.
They burnt your house to the ground. It was very awful.
And we're kind of sour about Dad, but we love Mom.
No, you, as far as you're concerned, you love both.
Okay.
He's kind of sour on Dad. Mom
Yeah.
was always nice to him.
Yep.
You accept Florence's offer to seek revenge, and
For now.
when your parents died, you kind of internalized it. You even had more hatred towards Florence because Florence wasn't around. He was off fucking training in some monastery somewhere.
Yeah.
So you hate him even more for that. And now he's coming back and trying to be, goody two shoes once again. You're even more angry. But you don't let Florence know this. Florence has no idea of your true feelings on him. And it turns out the gnolls, their hideout and where they ran off to, is in the forest that you pretty much call home. So your plan, Jeremiah, is that during this journey, you're going to kill your brother, bury him so no one ever finds him, kill the gnolls, and take all of the glory for it.
Words out right out of my mouth.
Is Florence done with his training?
He is. It's sort of like a Jedi situation where he's done enough training to be recognized as a monk, but he is not, like, there are still ranks of...
Yeah. He's still level 1.
Right. He's, like, you don't have to have a master with you at all times, basically.
Great.
Is what you've graduated to.
Okay.
Do you two have any other questions about your setup so far?
I am expected to return, though, once this
You
whole
are
thing...
expected to return.
Got it.
And where is Spervince?
Yes, so that was the very next thing that I was going to get to.
Okay.
Spervince, if you guys remember, what happened is after the climactic battle with the sort of mannequin wizard that you guys were fighting, the party, everyone except for Spervince, was transported to space.
It was when we touched something.
Yes.
We picked up one object, and that transported us.
Someone touched the door, I think.
Yeah.
I could be getting it wrong. But the important part is everybody went up to space except Spervince. Spervince, sorry. So Spervince, after having recently made allies with this group, you're kind of distraught. And so you're searching for them. You want to know where they went. And the cave that you're in is almost impossible to get out of, but in the room where you first encountered the mannequin wizard, there's actually a hole. And if you go through the hole, eventually you run into soft earth. And so Spervince, using your spider halfling legs and arms, you started digging. You dig up and up and up, and you actually dig for days, eating worms and bugs along the way that are kind of sifting through the earth.
So Spervince's traditional diet.
Yes, traditional diet.
Yes.
Eventually, you sort of like, your hand comes out of the ground, and you're like, finally! And it's nighttime. And about 20 feet away from you, you can see two gnomes at a campfire. It seems they're settling in for the night, making camp. You don't know what they're up to, but perhaps they have some information on the adventures that you're
Got
seeking.
it.
So that's basically where our story begins.
What's your name?
Florence.
Florence.
And yours is Jeremiah.
Jeremiah. Got it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Are we ready?
So before we get to Spervince, I kind of want you guys, maybe you're having a conversation, I don't know how you're setting up camp, whatever it is you want to do, kind of get that situated, and then Spervince, you can do whatever.
Jeremiah, I must say I am very impressed with your fire building technique. You've come a long way.
The hell is that supposed to mean?
It's just a well-constructed fire. It is very advanced for someone of your education.
Do you make a lot of fires in your palace that you've been off to?
I feel like you may have a misunderstanding of where I am. It is no palace.
Yeah, what would you call it?
I would call it a sanctuary of education.
Sanctuary is a palace in my book.
Okay, Jeremiah, I knew that you would play this card. I just want you to know that I appreciate you.
You appreciate me, so you left? You left Mom, you left Dad? You left me to fend for myself?
Please don't start this. Father wanted me to leave, and he wanted you to leave too.
He didn't want you to leave. He always said, why can't you be more like your brother? Where is your brother? I miss your brother.
Father missed me.
Yeah, but you wouldn't know about that.
Yeah, you wouldn't know about that.
The hell is that?
What is this? Yes, kill it, please.
Well, hang on a second.
What are you?
Why would you want to kill Spervince?
What the hell is a Spervince?
Well, he's kind of like a half spider, half like human guy.
Spider? I don't like filthy spiders.
Maybe we should take a few steps back for a second.
Okay,
Explain yourself. Why are you here?
Well, you see,
Okay.
you have a complicated relationship with your father and your brother, and I see that. And I too have a father-brother that I have a complicated relationship with. So I think I can sympathize with you.
What would you know about it?
Have you ever bursted forth from another man's chest?
No, I've not.
No.
Well,
Speak, animal!
Speak or we'll slice your throat.
look, you had me at hello. All I'm asking is for some information.
What do you want to know? I know this forest like my home, and I know that you do not belong here. What do you want?
We Spervince, if you need any advice, you should probably ask me. A much more educated individual than
Yeah.
this obscene monster over
Yeah,
here.
feel free. Tell him about the forest we're in.
Absolutely. What is your question, Spervince?
Have you seen another guy? Kind of looks like the top half of me, about yay high. You seen him walking through here?
No, this is mostly surrounded by wildlife in this forest.
Yeah, what kind of wildlife?
Oh, you know, badgers.
Badgers, really? In
Yes.
this part of the forest?
I've seen some tree elk. I've seen some tree crawlers. Yes.
Okay.
Well, that all sounds delicious, but none of the people I'm looking for are any of those species.
Spervince, do you have any combat skills?
Oh, yeah. I can bite, I can shoot webs.
You can shoot webs. This might come in handy.
Spervince, could I please have you make an investigation check, please?
Ooh.
7.
Okay, your intelligence is 2. So, you're at, that roll is actually a 3. So, you are trying to describe the adventurers, but you're just failing miserably. Like, it's so bad that you're almost describing other people.
Okay, so we got 3 best friends here. Okay? We got this like big guy, really nice guy, 2 hands.
Okay.
You love him. Okay? Then we got this, I don't know, nudist that just walks around, lets people ride on her. And then,
Spervince, this is very foul.
Jeremiah, if I could have you please make a perception check. So you've actually never wandered that far away from Fandelver?